Welcome to Your Studio Podcast, the show for studio owners like you who want more profit, more freedom, and a business that actually supports your life. Hosted by Chantelle and Michelle Hunter, co-CEOs of Studio Evolution. We've helped thousands of studio owners in more than 34 countries grow, scale, and simplify. So whether you're stuck in survival mode or ready to level up, you're not alone, and you're in the right place. So pop the kettle on, hit follow, and let's dive in.
Is the hat too shadowy?
I wish I had a hat to cover these bags, but I'm not. These are the times I wish I had Botox.
And lots of concealer.
There's no concealer under these bags or these freckles.
Hey everyone, it's Chantelle Bruinsme here, and I've got Michelle Hunter by my side as always, and this is the Your Studio Podcast. We're so happy to have you here. Today is our final episode of the season. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it's gone so quick. It's been so fun.
We are just loving this, and we're getting we just found out we got 5,000 downloads of this pod just recently, and it's all just firing, and we are very, very grateful for you guys all being here. So today we're going to talk about something less studio related, more life related. We get asked the question all the time, like, how do you balance it all? And Michelle, what would be your answer to that, to work and life?
We don't. That's it. There's no magic answer. We're not balancing it all.
Yeah. Let's make
it very clear.
Very clear. There is none. We are not succeeding at that. But because life is just throwing us curveballs. You were at emergency last night, right? Life is hard.
Full disclaimer, I am embracing the realness of this episode. As you can see, there's no makeup, there's no concealer, there's big bags. I was in emergency all night because we thought for the second time Maverick had broken his wrist, and it all started from a snakes and ladder fight with his younger sister.
You know it's bad when someone breaks their arm
from playing snakes and ladders.
Bloody siblings.
Oh my goodness. And just the juggle of, Mitch is still on his way home from work. So I just had to appease everyone. Then I had to get to emergency. And then the first place was shut. Then I had to go to the bigger hospital, and just the waiting and then
it's so horrible, hon.
The kicker, I got home, wonderful. His hand wasn't broken, or his wrist wasn't broken, just sprained. Then the 18-month-old started vomiting when I got home.
No.
It's not the second shift. It was like the fourth shift.
No, it's just too much trauma in one 12-hour window. It's just too much.
But I'm not alone. There is so many mums, partners, caregivers, studio owners, doing the same thing day in, day out.
Surely in that moment you weren't thinking that. Surely in that moment you're thinking like, what the actual fuck? How is this happening to me right now?
This is
like the projectile vomiting after being 6 hours in emergency. Like, that's just some cruel taunt, right? That's a cruel taunt. You don't deserve that.
It was just crap. It was crap. Yeah, I won't deny it. I was just, and then I couldn't sleep because I was so.
Of course you couldn't sleep. How could you?
I was so wired. And you know what's funny? When Mav was getting the x-ray, I was shaking in the x-ray room. I was like, is it really cold in here? And the x-ray lady said, I think you might just be going into aftershock of something because you're full shivering. And then Mav's like, Mum, you're scaring me. Are you all right? And I'm like, oh my God. It was just physical.
Honey.
It's physical.
Oh, it's brutal. And I love you, Vox, to be saying, so I'm probably going to be have a slow morning, and then I'll get into forecasting. I was like, what? No, you can't do forecasting after your nervous system has been through that.
And excuse my language, what a dick thing to say. I'm going to take a slow morning then forecast. No, I'm not. Stop kidding yourself. You're an idiot.
Honestly, Michelle, it wouldn't surprise me. There are versions of you that would have got into forecasting today, but you're learning. I think we're learning our limits.
We're learning, and it's a journey, right? It's a journey. The more you realize that, you can't do it all, and you don't have to. What's going to change today if I did that forecasting today compared to tomorrow?
So today we wanted to talk about a little thing called the invisible load that women carry, this whole bullshit concept of balance and what the pressure it actually puts on us, I think, is the kind of the realness that we feel. So full disclaimer, I have 2 children. I've got a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. Michelle has 3 children, which is about 1,000 in my opinion.
I just say the probability is higher for something to go wrong. That's the more, that's what it is.
The more children there is, more happy chaos.
That's right. That's right. Or bad chaos, like last night in emergency. But yeah, I've got to, and this is, now I have to think. It's not like 2 I could recall really easily. Now it's like I've got a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, and an almost 2-year-old.
So cute. And I think that what Michelle and I, like, what has always bonded us together is like, we freaking love being a mum. Yeah. Like, we are devoted to being mums, and we really work hard at being really great and present and attuned mums. Yeah. And we also are mums who love what we do as well. Yeah. And that tension between the two is hard to navigate, is the truth, right?
It is hard because, you know, when we talk about, like, we always feel like this was our calling to be a mum, like we're so happy and, you know, we're so present and everything, but we also do love to work. And it's, when you say that balance, like, balance implies it's perfect, which is just doesn't exist. So I think, and I don't know how you feel about this, Chantelle, but I think when you are a working mum, when you love both, the reality is that there's sacrifices that have to happen in some areas of your life that you're not, well, actually, that you have to be comfortable with in order to keep going, I guess, or find that level of calmness. Well, it's not really calm because I'm not calm, but you know what I mean.
You have a real aura of calm, but what I feel is internalized, you're highly stressed. But so, we externalize calm, but internalize like,
So your tagline is, when something stressful happens at a live event, Michelle's calm, but inside she's burning down. Everyone, she's burning down. I know that face, but it's true, right?
I see Michelle go into this like glazed look sometimes of like, I've got this. But inside she's feeling it.
Feeling it. But it is a trade-off for sacrifices. And, you know, for me, I don't have a big social life, you know, that I used to.
No.
Or
none.
Do you hear that one? Does that kind of resonate?
I don't have a social life much.
Yeah.
I have neighbours who live 400 meters that I happen to see on the street, and I'm thrilled and I love them.
And you know what? And I'm okay with that at this point in my life. You know, I think there's seasons. Even, you know, how adventurous me and my husband are. You know, things that we used to do. Like, we used to love working out together. When does that?
My husband and I don't live in the same bed anymore. We co-sleep with our kids because we needed sleep, and that was the best option. Yeah. Like, there's things you think your life is going to look like, and then how your life actually looks like right now. But it is the best decision. And like, again, this is you get to the point of, this isn't working. Yeah. And what's best for the holistic family is, we need this. And so, we have to make decisions of socializing right now. I'm not going out for dinners much with girlfriends. And that's okay, because I get my needs met in other ways.
Yeah. And do you feel there's a pull? Because, like, I have a lot of friends who are such amazing mums, and they try not to sacrifice. So they still want to give their kids all the experiences. They still want to do all the things. And I take my hat off to them. I'm like, honey, but you're going to burn out. Like, I've been here. I've done that. And sometimes I think it's like that saying of like, oh, well, they've got their shit together. They don't want to drop the armor. They don't want to drop the facade of like, sometimes I think it's okay to say, no, I don't have my shit together. And I just can't, there's things that I have to miss out on for this point in my life to make things work.
It's that kind of, because you can do it all, but what the cost is how you feel, I think. Right?
Yeah.
You can, but the cost is going to be how you feel. And for the mums out there who, you know, I've got really close girlfriends of mine, and each of their kids does 3 activities, and they've got 3 children. Like, and then they work really demanding jobs as well. And that time pressure, I feel, is really intense on the mother to facilitate, because you're the one kind of remember, oh, it's Tuesday today, so they've got to wear sports uniform. Oh, they've got to have their reader booked. Oh, they've got to get prepped for news. Oh, I've got a birthday party I've got to buy the present for on the weekend. Like, when there's more noise and more activity, there is more. And so, I mean, Michelle, you've watched my journey over the past couple of years. I've really embraced the idea of slow play and minimal activities for our children. Yeah. Mainly because, I mean, my kids are 7 and 4. There's plenty of time for them to do lots of activities as they desire. I'm putting a lot of value on imaginary play at this stage of their life, and to give them imaginary play, they need long stretches at home, just where they can be be creative. And like over the weekend, we played hotels. And so Madeline put like the hotel room numbers on each of the doors, and we had key cards. We had to go to the check-in desk, which was all set up. There was a bell, and then Delilah was the doorman, and we got our bags carried. Like it's things like that. And then, you know, right now in my life, if we were doing soccer on a Saturday morning, they couldn't do that.
They couldn't do that.
And they've got so many years to play soccer, but this little window of imaginary play is what I really value. Yeah. So we've made decisions as a family to prioritize that, right? And so it's kind of deciding where you want to put your time and where you put your resources. Your kids need activities. Like Mav needs to be playing sport. That's really important for him as a kid.
It's funny, like that dynamic, because we were crazy. You remember when we were doing like heaps.
Yeah, I remember. And
I've scaled it down to 50%. So they only do 2 activities each now. I know that sounds crazy. So they only do two activities each. But for me, what's a non-negotiable is I take them to school and I pick them up every day. And then, and you know, Chantelle, I am a bit, even when Mitch is home, I like to go with them to do pick up and drop off. I love that I'm their constant at drop off because I love like seeing
I didn't realise that.
Yeah, I try to, unless we've got like a big meeting or in launch week or traveling, but I like to be that constant in the morning and in the afternoon.
Wow,
because
that's beautiful.
There's so much, as you know, me and Chantelle work very different. Let's just kind of paint the picture.
Yeah, let's go there. Let's go there
first.
To our different work style, shall we?
So Chantelle's like, if she's in, she's in. She's like,
all or nothing.
All or nothing.
0 to 100.
0 to 100. Focus. Let's go. Do. Me, I could have a toddler at my feet. Race car in the background. Let's explain how our offices are in the house, Chantelle.
Yeah, this is actually the best definition.
Yeah.
Where's your office?
So it connects 2 living spaces. I have an office built out, and from one living space to the other, they have to walk through the edge of my office to get through.
Just off the kitchen, just where all the kids are playing. Where there is noise and games and you're in the middle of it, but you need to feel connected. You need to
100%.
feel totally immersed around the kids, and you can't.
Yep.
We try a few years ago. You went to the back room and you put your office
changed
there?
our whole house around. Remember in COVID, I redesigned all the kids' rooms, repainted the rooms. My husband nearly killed me, and I was in there for 3 months. And I said, I can't do it. I have to go back into the main. I need to hear noise. I need to hear them.
You need to be close to your babies. It's beautiful. I need to be far away from my babies in order to work.
to work. But saying that, that's because I am like that. So I do have a very hybrid approach. And because of that, I do a bit more hybrid hours in different times of the day because I like to be more connected when they're independent playing. So that's why the non-negotiable for me is the pickup. I like to be there constant before they go to school, when they get home, and before an activity. So
it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. But I'm someone who my office is from you walk past the laundry, you walk past the media area, you walk up a flight of stairs and then like above
onto
the
a landing.
Yeah. Like a whole different section of the property. Because I find that when I'm around my kids, I am super present and connect. I don't like to be on my phone around the kids. I like to be so when I'm working, I'm working. And when I'm a mum, I'm a mum. And I have really clear identity around that. And that works for me. And I can't concentrate. I can't work around my children. I just can't. I don't have the skill
But I think that's great as well because you're also presenting. Like, you know what I mean? Like you are the face of our company. And it's great. It's like just that hyper focus. It's like I love it because you're all in. You're all in. But we all
have hyper focus.
Yeah.
Sure.
But we
undiagnosed ADHD, but very genetically likely.
Yeah, same here. But we all have different styles, right? So we all have different non-negotiables, and then that also feeds into the invisible load because with the activities, it's funny. You said something about the birthday present.
Oh, birthday presents take me over the edge.
Can I tell you that is my undoing? That's the extra. That's all it takes, right? I can do all the activities. I can pick up. I am like the snack queen. My kids are very spoiled.
You are. I've seen you have little mini bottles of ketchup that you give your kids when you air fry little chicken nuggets for afternoon tea, and you put tiny little baby. That's the cutest thing I've ever seen. Super mum.
It's just, but it's cute. They love it. It's like the highlight of their day. They get like a little snack box at 4:00, and then because my kids need to eat before they do school. And my niece who's 16 said, "Can you start making me snack boxes after school?" So I'm fine to do that, and I'm fine with all the other mental load. But then it just takes the one little extra thing, and I'm done. The load that I was carrying so well that week has derailed.
How does that play out in your marriage?
Well, I'm going to say, because he's very busy traveling overseas at the moment, so he's not going to be listening to this episode. His friends will, so share around, friends. I am very emotionally immature when I get into these moments, and then I like to bring out like the list of the mental load that I've been carrying.
Yeah, the list.
I've talked
about the list too. Oh my God, the list.
Instead of just being a mature human being and just saying, can I have some help? Perhaps could you help me get this present? I'm like, do you know what I've been through this week? And then he's like, oh, here we go. He's like, he's like, oh, okay. I'm just going to take a sip.
Get your scroll out.
Yeah. And then I'm talking. He's like, all right, I might pour myself a beer because this is going for a while. I just kind of like, I just get so worked up because I'm so happy doing the invisible load. I'm like, yeah, I'll take it on, do it. And then it just takes the one thing and I spill over. Do you similar? I don't know.
But it's true. I am full in solidarity with you.
Okay, good. I was like, please don't leave me hanging.
I'm not leaving you hanging at all. I am part of. I'm wearing the hat. I'm flying the flag for passive aggressive wives.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm not alone.
But it's really hard. It's really hard because we're tired, and like it's in my marriage. It's like Travis is, and the tricky here's the other thing, right? Michelle and I are married to really excellent men.
So sweet, so tolerant,
really good. We give really good husbands, like genuinely.
They're like,
devoted.
go travel the world. Go teach studio
Go
owners
have your
all over the world.
careers.
Go have your careers. We'll support you. We'll stay home with the kids. So this is disclaimer.
We have really great husbands, and
I'm petty. I'm a petty woman.
Still, we are struggling with the inequity in our marriages.
Oh my gosh. It's like I could be right. Mish could be sitting right there, and they're still saying, "Mum." I'm like,
we have a game. We have a game that's like every time the kids say "Mum," Trav has to do a squat.
I'm so bringing that in
because it's like, "Mum." Oh
my God.
It's real. It's real. It's real. It's real. And it's like, because for me, it's also I'm the person who traditionally like will remember like the kids need to have a dentist appointment booked.
Yep.
The cat has to have a worming tablet. It's those types of things that are important and that matter and that fall on me to do. Like Travis is also like, he's amazing at doing things. Like he will just, start tidying up. Travis does a lot of our laundry.
He does everything. He's so immaculate.
Yeah, he's immaculate. He is an incredibly I'm married to a tidy man.
Very tidy.
Like,
you should see how the clothes are folded. It's crazy.
His wardrobe is color coordinated. And then you look at my side of the wardrobe.
I know, I saw it.
You have seen it?
Get the photo shoot.
Don't judge me.
Okay, I'm not.
I know.
Visible load.
But it's like we are married to really, really good men, and still as women, like the emotional load of regulation. I think that is what's really hard because we're doing so much cognitive load of organizing and prepping and remembering and planning and anticipating, and then you've also kind of got to do the emotional thing of like how they feel. Are we validating the children's feelings? Like how are we kind of relating in that way? And it's difficult when. I think I speak for both of us, but like our husbands go to the gym, but we don't go to the gym as much because there's not space to do so. And that's where we get like resentful is the tricky thing, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. And we probably could go. Do you think?
But we choose to be there for dropping our kids off and picking them up from school.
So 100%.
So here's the thing. We're making decisions in our life based on our values. You and I value being really present at this stage of our kids' lives. We know it's short window and we love being connected with our kids. So I happily will choose to leave school, finish work at 2:15 p.m. so I can go pick up Delilah at 2:30. Happily. Yep. And that means I don't get to go for a walk or go to Pilates. That's my decision in this stage, and 100% good life choice, really, And
again, it's a season. It's not forever. We're not going to be missing Pilates and missing burpee box jumps forever.
I'll never miss them, is the truth.
I was going to say, you're never going to miss them.
I'm never missing a burpee. Things I will never miss, burpees. But look, I feel it's this kind of understanding and deciding what your values are. Michelle and I have found a good blend. We've also been to Burnout several times in our careers. So we understand now. And I actually feel like I've got a pretty good work balance at the moment, kind of like like with the intensity and with the kind of how I'm prioritizing, and like I've put stronger boundaries in.
Yeah.
I've kind of, this year's been the first year that I'm taking all school holidays off. So I'm taking 12 weeks of leave this year, which is huge. And I definitely, it is huge. My team knows it is huge. And there is definitely, I have to grapple with the team want more of me. And I have to grapple with the fact that I'm not available as much as they would like, and they kind of would like more. And I know that in my job, this is a long-term game. Like I'm not going anywhere. So it has to be sustainable. And this season of my kids' life is so precious. And I guess for me, like I worked crazy hard for the first 2 years of Madeline's life, my first child. Yeah. And I'm not getting that back. And like, this is the time. And so I've made that sacrifice of, well, if I need to be, as a company, if we're going to be a little bit less profitable because I need to hire someone to support it, so be it. I will sleep well at night and know I've sacrificed nothing. I'm giving myself permission to have the time off in the school holidays that I want with my kids, and I don't want to miss a thing. That does put more pressure on me when I do come to work because I've got to deliver, right?
And that's something that
I'm okay with it.
I was going to say, I've become really okay with that. It's like when I come back, it's like I've got to push a bit, but it's like I just had school holidays. And it's funny, Chantelle, you and I have just started to cross over a week. And the first time in the company, Chantelle and I have been really comfortable both taking a week off because we've got an amazing team, right? And
the best team. The best team.
And I'm actually really comfortable that when we come back, it's like, we've got to do a bit of a sprint at the beginning of the term because we've had some time off and the team need us a bit more. But again, it's like those seasons, we are okay. And there's times to push. And I don't think, when our kids are so young. And
this is not the time. This is not the time. This is not the time. Like we are hanging in there and we are doing the best we can with our careers in a stage that needs with very intensive parenting. Like we are in. And like, I think, one of our mentors, Sam, we love her to bits. She's got kind of teenagers. Like, it doesn't get easier. Just so you know, it doesn't get easier. It's just different hard. And we're like, don't say that to us.
And she's got 3 boys, right? And we met her when she was transitioning from that young to teen phase. And she just says to us all the time, you guys are so in it. You're so in it. I remember that age. You guys are so in the thick of it. And I think one thing that we've learned, Chantelle, I'm really proud of us for holding to values. When like business is going well and we're enablers, you get these great ideas.
We're very enabled. You and I
could implement that in a week. We can roll that out. We could do that. We could change lives with that. But we don't have to do it all. And I think designing things with a bit of spaciousness, because life happens. And if you don't go into something with a bit of room, because stuff happens in a business, right? You got staff turnover, emergencies, people are sick. Our kids get sick.
We get sick.
Like if we get the flu, we're out. You've got to account for that.
And also the joy and the creativity, like particularly like we're in planning stage to roll out a new program here at Studio Evolution, a high tier kind of program, very exciting. Spoiler alert. And it's largely going to be me facilitating it. And so like a lot of the conversations we're having is like, how can I make this sustainable for me to deliver? And knowing that I also need space to be creative and be a leader and to be, have the visionary ideas. And if I'm presenting every day, it's very hard for me to do that. So it's trying to find an understanding of my work style with what's important and balancing the growth of the company and also honoring the season I'm in and how I want to be in myself. In fact, I think this is a little funny aside that it's not just how I want to be as a mum, because I think you and I are really good at being great mums. It actually is like, I want to be a nice wife.
And you know what?
Thing, right?
Since you've started to say that, it's been really, like we've been coming back to that term a lot when we're planning trips, work life, live events, and 100% totally like reframes. Because like being a good mum, it's different, but like being a good wife, there's a lot more to think about.
Yeah. Yeah. What would my life need to look like for me to be a nice wife? All the time.
You need to pick up that birthday present on the way home.
I've started just ordering in bulk. So like there's those great, I literally just bought 5 of the same book that I just like. And it's like done. It's in the cupboard.
Such a great idea.
But then
such a batcher. You're such a batcher.
Trav gave away the last one and we had a birthday party and I was like, okay, it's fine. I'll just it's fine. On it. Thank God for Amazon. Thank God for Amazon.
I love Amazon.
Yeah. So if you're taking anything from this episode,
so our advice is you can't balance it all.
You can't balance it all. Honor the season you're in.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. And then what is the cost if you do try to balance it all?
I know the answer to that question.
Mm.
It's me being in a corner. It's me in a corner with a bowl of Doritos.
Yeah, just like manic breakdown. Yeah.
Not nice, wife. If I can't balance, is that what you asked? Or was your other question?
Yeah, like what happens if you do try to balance it all? If you're like,
What happens if you do try balance it all?
which I think is you've just answered it because I just don't think it can be.
No.
When you're running a business and you're thinking that you can have this romantic ideal of balancing it all, it I don't know. It's very hard.
It's very hard. And
the
like,
cost
you know,
is
for studio
yourself.
owners, you're delivering the teaching, you're kind of doing the prep. For me, it's kind of, you know, the school holidays, the time where I do get to slow down. Like, and that for me has been really important. So maybe it's designing the studio to be like, you know, I have minimum X amount of weeks per year where I'm not teaching the studio. And we just close the studio for a month over the summer. And I know that is my time that's non-negotiable. And it's worth us kind of actually having that time off versus running a few programs that aren't very profitable. For the benefit of me having that break time is actually worth it. You can teach all the classes, but God knows that has a huge cost as well, right?
Yep. And the thing you said before, like moments of profitability. I've heard you say this in live events before to studio owners. It's kind of like buy your own maternity leave. If you need to escape, buy your time. Just know that you are not going to be super profitable or taking X amount home for that month. You're going to pay for the help.
That's right. Because like you don't get this time back. So like there's plenty of time to make money. Like when you've got young children, you're in a season of your career that's not forever.
Yeah.
You've had a different season when you can hustle harder. You will have a season again when you can hustle harder.
Yeah.
Right now you can't.
Yeah.
And it's that hard truth of like, we could, even right now, Michelle and I, we could be so much more profitable. We could be earning so much more money. We are choosing intentionally to not. I think that's really important to hold. We are choosing intentionally because we want to do school pickups. We want school holidays off. And we're proud of that, right? Like this is not all about money.
We're on the same page too. And I think it's something we do come back to because we get carried away with planning sometimes. We could do all the things. And as women and as mums and as carers, you can do all the things. But you don't have to. And in this point in our life, we don't want to.
No, we don't want to. We want to be there for our babies. We want to have really good, you know, relationships. I'm also, you know, doing a lot of therapy. So every 2 weeks I need half a day to kind of have therapy and then recover from therapy, right? Like those are the decisions of like what I'm choosing and what I'm valuing. Yeah. And like the business has to kind of work around that. So it's the worthiness of understanding what you value for yourself. And then, well, if the business had to deliver it, that's it. And I know that we've got some privilege that, you know, I've been running this company for 14 years. Michelle's been with me for the last 2 or 3 years as a co-owner. We have got a legacy business, right? But even so, like it's just find the creativity of like, if you did need this to be delivered, like if I came to you and said like, I will give you $1 million if you close the studio for 4 weeks over the summer. I mean, that may not be the best example because like the $1 million would pay for the 4 weeks, but it's that type of like thinking like, what would it take? How could I crack open your brain a little bit more and think, how could we? This is the question. What do you value? How could you make it happen? So you can sleep well at night and know when you look back on this stage in your life, you were a nice wife. This is what I ask myself.
Yeah. Every day.
I'd like to close this episode with gratitude to Mitchell Hunter and Travis Bruinsma.
100%.
For their devotion and undying love and for the men
and so supportive to our crazy idea. We have crazy ideas like all the time. It's like, hey, babe, we're going to start a reality TV show. And they look at us seriously like, oh, yeah, and they entertain us. They entertain us all the time.
I know, but they believe in us. We're so lucky. We're so lucky. We married good men. Good men.
And that's a big one, guys. Thank you we wanted to be a bit more vulnerable, and there's nothing more than that than seeing all my freckles and pores in HD.
It actually looks beautiful, hon.
It's very beautiful. It's
but given you've had 0 sleep multiple nights in a row, looking great. So our advice to you and my advice to you, Michelle, is to go have a nap. Okay?
Yeah. No hot tea. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Love it. No Venn diagrams. Very point.
No.
Okay.
There's no Venn diagrams. There's no models. Go have a nap. And we'll see you next season.
Thank you, guys. We've loved every minute of it. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Loved this episode? Hit follow so you never miss what's next. And if you're ready for more clarity, tools, and support to grow your studio, head to studioevolution.com/start. Your dream studio is possible, and you don't have to build it alone.